Good morning, students.
Good morning, sir.
In this class, chapter number 26, Companies Act of 2013. The important topics we are going to see in this session: evolution and history of Company Law of India, Companies Act of 2013. Before that, we should know the synopsis of this lesson: evolution and history of Company Law, Companies Act of 2013, meaning and definition of company, various steps to be followed for the formation of companies, promoters, procedural aspects of corporation of formation of company, share capital and its types, issue of shares, types of shares, share certificate, share warrant, stock, debentures, difference between stock and debentures. So these are the major areas which are covered in the chapter number 26. So this is a brief introduction about the chapter. Now we move on to first topic: evolution and history of company law, page number 259 in our textbook. First of all, introduction. The concept company or corporate is not a new concept in this business. It was already discussed in 4th century BC during the Atlas of Stock period. After that, the concept was brought enormous changes over a period of time, and the company or the corporate has a certain distinct advantages when we compare with the other forms of organization like sole trade business and partnership form of business. So joint stock company has certain distinct advantages which are not existing in the partnership form of business and sole trade business. Then evolution and history of company law. The East India Company was established in the year 1600 on the basis of the Royal Charter issued by the East India Queen or King of England. In England, 1844, the Joint Stock Company Act was passed. The year 1844, Joint Stock Company Act was passed in England. But in case of India, the Joint Stock Company Act was passed in the year 1857 with limited liability concept. In India, 1857, Joint Stock Company was introduced with the concept of limited liability. After that, in 1913, Indian Companies Act was passed with the introduction of the concept of private company in the corporate sector. Limited liability was introduced in the year 1857. Private company concept in the corporate sector introduced in the year 1913. After that, the recommendation of H.C. Baba Committee, the Company Act of 1956 was passed in the Indian Parliament. Companies Act of 1956 was passed in the Indian Parliament on the basis of the recommendation of H.C. Baba Committee. Now, the major objectives of the Company Act of 1956: to sustain the trust and faith of shareholders. The important object of the Companies Act of 1956 was to sustain the trust and the faith of the shareholders. You know the meaning of trust and faith. The second one, to protect the rights of the shareholders. To protect and preserve the rights of shareholders, because shareholders are the owners of the company, so they must be protected. So one of the objectives of the Companies Act was protect and the preservation of the rights of shareholders. Then to increase or the drastic control the activities of the day-to-day activities of the companies. To control over the activities of companies. It's another objective of the Companies Act. Conduct of various meetings an efficient manner. So in the previous chapters we have already discussed about the meeting. What are the various types of meeting? First of all, shareholders meeting, board of directors meeting, special meeting. The subdivisions of the shareholders meetings are statutory meeting, general meeting, extraordinary general meeting. In case of board of directors meeting, board meeting, committee meeting. In case of special meeting, debenture holders meeting and creditors meetings. So these are all the meetings we have already seen in the previous chapter. So that conduct of all the meeting in an efficient manner. Then investment of public fund for the social welfare projects as well as the development of nation. The amount which are invested by the public in the joint stock company that should be utilized for the social welfare and the development of social activities. So these are the various main objectives of the Companies Act of 1956. Then some of the amendments had also taken place. First one, Company Law Board was abolished. Company Law Board was abolished. The new concept was introduced. National Commission on National Company Law Tribunal was established. Company Law Board was abolished. Instead of that, National Company Law Tribunal was established. 6 industrial units are previously undertaken by Board for Industrial Financial Reconstruction. After that, the establishment of National Company Law Tribunal, all the industrial 6 units was undertaken by National Company Law Tribunal. Previously it was undertaken by the Board for Industrial and Financial Reconstruction. These are all some changes or amendment are taken place in the Companies Act of 1956. Now, the recent amendment of Companies Act was 2013. In case of Companies Act, the bill was passed in the Lok Sabha on 18th December 2012. The same bill was passed in the Rajya Sabha on 8th August 2013. That is, the Companies Act of 2013 was passed in Lok Sabha on 18th December 2012, but in case of Rajya Sabha, 8th August 2013. However, the President of India gave his assent or consent on 29th August 2013. So, it was came into force on 2013, in the year 2013. The President of India gave his assent on 29th August 2013. In 1956 Act, Companies Act of 1956, there are 13 chapters, 658 sections and 15 schedules. But in case of 2013 Companies Act, there are 29 chapters, 470 sections and 7 schedules. So do you understand what I am telling? So the bill was passed in Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha got the assent of the President of India. What about the chapters according to 1956 Act, and what about changes taken place in the 2013 Act? Apart from this, separate chapters for registered values and separate chapter for government companies and also separate chapter for Navy. Then National Company Law Tribunal, Appellate Tribunal, Special Court. These are the important chapters or important amendments are taken place in the Companies Act of 2013. What are the things introduced? National Company Law Tribunal introduced, Appellate Tribunal introduced, Special Court concept also introduced. So these are the information about the Companies Act of 2013. Now, important changes had taken place on the basis of Companies Act of 2013. Then previously only two types of companies are existed, namely public limited company and private limited company. And in case of 2013 Act, one new concept was introduced, that is one person company. Now at present how many companies are there? Three types of companies. What are they? Public company, private company and a one person company. Then previously the maximum number of members for private company only 50, but the strength was increased to now 200 members. So 200 members can be joined in the private limited company, but it was only 50 in the Company Act of 1956. Then commencement of business certificate. So all the companies which are having the share capital, they have to get the commencement of business certificate after getting of incorporation certificate or certificate of incorporation. So a company can start the business without incorporation certificate, without commencement of business certificate, the private limited company and one person company. But the company which are having the share capital, they have to get the commencement of business certificate from the registrar of the company. First stage, incorporation certificate. That should be common to all the companies, whether they public company or private company or one person company. They should get or they must get the certificate of incorporation. After that, the private company and one person company can start the business. They need not to get the commencement of business certificate. Then, memorandum of association. Usually, memorandum of association is responsible for the outsiders. Or the, for example, liability class, name class, situation class. That means the objectives of the company are mentioned in the memorandum of association usually. So, in addition to that, other necessary information also included in the memorandum of association. Then, another important concept or change was taken place, key managerial personnel. KMP means key managerial personnel. Who are all called key managerial personnel? Manager, managing director, company secretary, chief financial officer, full-time directors, and chief executive officer. Under section 2, subsection 51, who are all the managerial personnel? Managing director, manager, chief executive officer, full-time director, and chief financial officer. Even the company secretary also come under the key managerial personnel. Then section 203 mentioned about the appointment of the key managerial personnel. What are the provisions or procedures to be followed while appointing the key managerial personnel mentioned in the section 203. Then the shares can be issued at a discount. What do you mean by shares issued at discount? If the shares are issued at face value, for example 10 rupees is the face value. Suppose if the company issued at 8 rupees means the company shares are issued at a discount. I mean less than the face value. Suppose if the company issued a share for the at rupees 12 rupees per share. So it will be known as issued at a premium. So a company can issue the shares on three methods. Issued at par, that means face value. 10 rupees means face value. Suppose if the company issued for 8 rupees means which is known as issued at a discount. If the company issued more than the face value, then it is said to be shares issued at a premium. What I want to say is the shares can be issued at a discount only two types of shares, equity shares and sweat shares. These two kinds of shares only issued at a discount. Some other shares are not allowed to issue at a discount. For example, preference shares, like that. Then, redemption of preference shares. Redemption means the company get back of shares and return back the money to the shareholders, which is known as redemption of preference shares. You know the procedure? the company receive the money from the shareholders and give the shares. So after a specified period is over, the company get back the shares and refund of money to the shareholders, which is known as redemption of shares. So the preference shares can be redeemed up to 20 years or within 20 years, except the infrastructural projects. The amount utilized for the infrastructure projects. So remaining shares should be redeemed within 20 years, not more than the 20 years. Then the last one is notice of alteration. If there is any change in the share capital or alteration of share capital, the company should be applied to the or informed to the register of company in the prescribed form within 30 days from the date of the alteration of capital. Alteration of capital means whether the share capital may be increased or decreased. That should be informed to the register of the company within 30 days from the date of the alteration of capital. Okay, so what are the various topics? Just now we have finished. Introduction, evolution and history of company law, main objectives of Companies Act of 1956, the important aspects of Companies Act of 2013, and important changes as per the Companies Act of 2013. So with this I stop. Tomorrow we will see about the incorporation of company.